Hello everyone and welcome back to another video today, where today we're going to be planting some of these tomatoes. Here we have Crimson Crush. We're going to be planting just 4 of these outside today. As you can see, I've made some supports, but I'll talk more about those in a minute. So just before we start, if you haven't already, be sure to click that like button and press subscribe with notifications on so you get notified every time I upload a new video. So we do all sorts of gardening related content on this channel, so be sure to join us along on this journey. So as you can see, I've made just some supports with some hazel. Use bamboo canes. You can use cages, anything that suits you, but you know, these were the easiest. I've just tied them together with some string, you know, just to give them a bit of support. They're in about 1 foot deep and they're spaced about 2 feet apart, you know, which I'd recommend if you're staking your tomatoes, but if you're caging them, obviously that takes up more room. So about 3 feet apart if you're caging them. So yeah, it just depends on what you're doing and the circumstances of your planting. So here we have the blight resistant Crimson Crush tomatoes. As you can see, they're wilting a bit. They've got some flowers on, they might want taken off, just the bottom truss, you know, to put more energy into roots and growth before we get some, you know, good established trusses, which we will then further prune these tomatoes to make them put more energy into growing fruit and not as much foliage, but it's sort of stages, I guess, as they go along. So yeah, let's get planting these. So I'm going to be using this little trowel here. It's not the best, it's a very small one, but I couldn't find my normal one, so we're just going to be using this. It'll be alright anyway. So what we're going to do is just take that label out and just take it out. As you can see, it's got some nice roots on there. So just going to be putting it in at the side of the post. So I've managed to find another trowel. It's not the other one, but we will find that. But anyway, we've got the hole dug, so we're going to see how far down that goes. So that's good. So I like to plant mine a little bit deeper, so that's where the soil level will be. So a good few inches, because then roots will come out and go into the top layer of this soil, which is manure. So yeah, they'll get lots of nutrients from that. So I also have some ground up banana peels and eggshells mixed in there, and then I have some larger chunks of eggshells in here because the larger ones will take longer to break down, so that's like a slow release, whereas these banana peels and eggshells is like a powder that will sort of give them a sudden boost, if you will. So that's going to add potassium, calcium and all that lot, which really helps tomatoes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the bottom, and then I'm going to put the plant in nice and straight. I've cut the bottom leaves off already as they were going yellow because they have dried up a bit, which is the worst thing for tomatoes, but you know, it should be alright. So I'm going to put some of these thicker eggshells in near the top. Don't really matter. Use liquid feed. Later on I might use nettle and comfrey feed as well. You know, just a bit more of that. It all helps. It all goes into the soil for these plants to use. So it's a nice little healthy plant there. I don't think I'll tie them to the stake today. as you know they're already not that big yet. So I say in about a week I'll tie them to the hazel and get them growing quite nicely. So yeah, they're about an inch away from the stake, so that makes sure that it won't be rubbing, but it will be able to be tied to the stake quite nicely. So I'll do the other ones now, and then I'll be right back with you. So there we have it. The tomatoes are all in. I've put some marigolds in between each tomato plant and one at each end as well. This will help prevent whitefly, so it's good companion planting, and it also looks nice and will help the pollinators too. So we've got to keep an eye out for slugs too. So yeah, we've got to make some slug traps or something like that, and we've got to see how these go with the new no dig style that we're doing. Obviously we've had to dig some holes, but it's not like we're rotivating the whole thing up. And hopefully this well rotted manure here, or it's pretty much compost now, will benefit these plants nicely. And it also looks very nice with these hazel poles, as you can see. That looks very nice, and I think all we need to do now is just to water them. So now they are all watered in, as you can see. I've given them a good soak to make sure they're in good contact with the soil, and it will hopefully firm these posts just a bit more, but they're extremely firm already as they're very deep. But I think it will be good support. Looks nice. Hopefully we'll have some nice fruit off it. As you can see, that one there's a bit wilted, but it should pick up. And yeah, that's that. All that potassium and calcium from the banana peels and eggshells we've added in should definitely give these plants a boost. Or make some comfrey feed, or just use some general tomato feed to get these plants going a little bit more once they get more established in a few weeks. So yeah, I've really just cut these poles today, so quite fresh if you will. So they probably will move as they dry out, but you know, should be alright. As you can see, that's where a branch was rubbing against a branch, and as you can see, it's charred a little bit there where it's got quite hot from all the friction. So yeah, this string here is just to tighten it up a bit. And yeah, we've got 4 good tomato plants in there. We've got loads more that I'm going to sell, give away, probably plant some more, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this video or found it useful, and if so, remember to click that like button and press subscribe with notifications on to get notified every time I upload a new video. So as I've said many times, I'm really pleased with this structure, if you will, and these tomato plants. They're growing really well now, and they're picking up after they've wilted a bit, and hopefully that will be the same with everything else. So yeah, we've got some string here, as I've said, that might rot, but it's just pulling everything together whilst it's fresh in the ground, if you will. So the weight of the fruit, you know, will be able to be supported, if you will. So these blight resistant tomatoes should be great outside, as they're blight resistant, so you know they'll last a bit longer and you know be a bit more resistant to the elements, if you will. So please let me know down below in the comments if you're growing any tomatoes this year, and if so, what variety and how many you're actually growing. So Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them down below in the comments as well. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. So if you want to watch me transplant these tomatoes, click up here, and to watch my latest video, just click below it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. So bye bye everybody.